Want to say hi to the viewers at home? Welcome on In Victory Road Unite, the EU Clash number 2, my friends, and I am Dr. Kendo here with my co-commentating bestie, Steph of Anime. What is happening, Steph? We got to get a look at the brackets and everything. Let's talk about it.
Oh, there's lots to talk about here because we've made it this far, and you know what time it is? It's time for the grand finals. So one team is going to be the reigning champion of EU Clash number 2. So we are going to take a look at our bracket here. I mean, we saw the losers finals, so we do have Sugar Free going up against Gigachad Gaming, which we did see that game not too long ago, and now we are going to see who is going to get reigned in this best of 5. So not a best of 3 this going on. It's going to be a best of 5 with Gigachad Gaming gaining a 1-game advantage. There's not going to be a reset, and it's going to be an intense set of matches. I mean, look at all of these teams and the way that they've fought. I mean, I think there was an incredible showcase of teams here today. Lots of really fun battles, and just really big shout out to everyone who participated here today.
You have never been more right, except I've known you for like a little over a decade, and you probably have been more right somewhere. But anyway, today you have never been more right. So, ladies and gentlemen, wonderful. Yeah, that was the story. You know, you see it all kind of crystallized on screen. But yeah, that's what's fascinating about this final match. I was going to call it a final stretch, but Sugar Free, and you know, we're going to see the return of that matchup, Sugar Free and Gigachad. So this is going to be tough. You know, Gigachad Gaming, they are a solid team. We know, of course, the style has been to create a lot of pressure early on and let it snowball. And so, sort of Animal Crossing-like, we push that snowball around until we have like about 3 of them, and you make a nice Gigachad snowman, and then it's all scary at that point, I guess, you know?
Right.
If you have to face that opposition. But on the other hand, Steph, I would say that Sugar Free, this is a team that has been able to adapt a lot comparatively that we've seen today. Is that, all right, one strategy, we can shuffle it on over here, make the micro or the major changes. And so, yeah, I credit Sugar Free with being able to think on their toes like that and change it up match by match. So, yeah, let's see it, Sugar Free.
Yeah, for sure. So we are getting ready to go into our next match. So until then, you'll have me and Dr. K just holding the fort, hanging out. And, you know, we've got to talk about so much here, Dr. K. And, you know, I asked you which Pokemon would you like to see. Is there a Pokemon that just never gets any play? That, I mean, it's kind of like, what's the opposite of the Pokemon you'd want to see? What's the Pokemon that someone never wants to see?
I don't know if it's like never wants to see. I just know that Mamoswine is not getting any of the tournament love, it seems like. Did y'all have it in the last EU? I did not get to watch, actually, EU Clash 1. I don't think it was there. And so, ultimately, I just like wonder, where's the Mamoswine? You know, where's the love?
Mamoswine can be pretty powerful, I think. It's just, I don't know. I guess it's just hard with all the other defenders that are out there to kind of give it some love. But I think the ice path, same with like Alolan Ninetales, I think is really, we saw one Alolan Ninetales today, and the freeze can be so powerful, but I think sometimes it's difficult to kind of, you know, support Ninetales, and Ninetales can go down pretty quickly, but I love it. I love the ice types.
Well, you have to think about, if you phrase that question maybe in terms of in the history of Unite tournaments, let's say. Let's look at the tourney scene. There has not, like, most Pokemon have had kind of a moment of love. You think about Pikachu used to be a very relevant pick. It was kind of always in that bottom path, kind of going with a 3. You know, you think like a 1-1-3, you know, whatever. But aside from that, like, a lot of Pokemon have had their time to shine. So I'm trying to think, what has not ever had its time to shine? Like, ever. You know, just ever. Because Wigglytuff, that was another one we discussed. It had its moments. Zugrug, of course, on GG, very famous tank player, was playing Wigglytuff for a long time. So if we go just kind of deep into Unite's history, you think like, well, Eldegoss was the only healer for a while, so it was like the only major healer, we should say, but like kind of for a long time. Gardevoir was like forgotten in that time zone, and then it had its buffs and it had its wave. You know, it's just everything has had some kind of wave, I think.
Yeah. Because, you know, I even think in the very early Unite days, no one played Garchomp and argued that Garchomp, you know, took too much to get online, you know, and it wasn't as helpful. But now, I mean, we just saw Garchomp, you know, really show its value, and Garchomp got necessary buffs and things. So, yeah, difficult, but it's fun to think about. But you know what? We don't need to stall anymore because here we go. We're prepping for the grand finals. On the purple side, we do see Sugar Free and Gigachad Gaming on the orange side. Dr. K, want to make a prediction who's getting banned out?
Oh, gosh. Now, that's tough because I would imagine it was going to be Hoopa, but then there was that one match that we actually saw Hoopa was not banned. But no, it's going to be Comfey coming in here, and I would not have guessed that. Urshifu a little bit more where I was leaning to guess next, but hey, they got to it before me. So yeah, I thought that Hoopa was going to be it. So wow, with Comfey out of there, that means that we do leave kind of your healing supports once again to open up for Hoopa, Eldegoss, and such. So moments away, I'm sure, from seeing one of these teams pick that, but Espeon going to be that first pickup.
Yep, and it looks like it's going to be Scyther, Slowbro on the other side. You know, these have been staples. I'm not surprised at all. Do we see Alola Ninetales come back out? I don't know. I'm getting baited by the hoverings and getting very excited here. You know, these are the moments where I'm on my toes like, ooh, what are we going to see? We haven't seen Zoroark today, but Zoroark has been like an interesting, I would say almost a Mew counter because of the range. Even though Zoroark is melee,
You can
get up. Yeah, what's up?
I said, what did I tell you? The sword and the shield are out of here because I said it, okay? It was the commentator's, whatever's the opposite of curse. A commentator's blessing.
Blessing? Yeah.
And so, anyway, you did see actually Scizor, though, very early pick on there for the other side. And so that was, of course, to lock that in because we've seen Scyther just kind of be in the prevalence for Gigachad. And so, ladies and gentlemen, can you believe it? Akroma right there hovered over the sword and went ahead and gave it the green check mark for old Dr. K. Huh?
Aw, that's gonna be fun. Can't wait to talk about Aegislash as we see now. Oh my gosh, we gonna see Pikachu? No way. We saw Pikachu. I'd lose my mind. So we're gonna see 4 seconds to wait. I think it's gonna be Delphox. That makes a lot of sense. Not complaining at all. I was about to be thrown for a loop there. I love that you can see who's getting hovered over. It makes for some fun moments here. And Blissy's fun. We haven't really seen much Blissey, but Blissey is still super wonderful as a healer and can do so much, and you have the different options. I think Blissey has such a flexible toolkit because you have so many different ways where if you want to kind of fight against hindrances as opposed to getting direct healing, you have a lot of options there.
Yeah, this would be nice to see Blissey on the cast for the first time today for the Twitch broadcast, that is.
Yeah.
We should note, I'm late getting to this, but also Dage Frost said it before the series was happening of pick ban, but said given how the teams played against each other earlier, my guess is that Sugar Free will opt to stick to the team fight comp, take more AoE for around Rayquaza. So did they end up doing that? Well, if we look at it, you're kind of noticing, obviously, with the sword and the shield in there for Aegislash, you're getting kind of that a little bit more direct hits, a little bit more direct damage until you get that Unite move, of course. That's the coup de grace. And, ultimately, like Snorlax, I guess, is kind of their AoE, maybe a little bit of Clefable. So, yeah, I don't know. They didn't quite stick to that, but maybe.
Yeah, and I got to call out that Slowbro. That Slowbro Hollowware, as you're talking about all this beautiful stuff, I'm looking at this top hat and it's so wonderful. Here we go. Game number 1. Here we are, Sugar Free on the purple side. Gigachad Gaming up 1 game, becoming from the winner's bracket right here as we see these Pokemon go off. Delphox will be taking that central area on Gigachad Gaming side, and we do see Glaceon taking the central area over on Sugar Free side. Gonna opt to grab those buffs first before those little ball toys, and then we do see the sword already. We hear those sounds of the metal clinging on this little Chansey right here. Going to try and get those early scores as soon as possible. Also try and take the experience on Gigachad Gaming side. Kind of just waiting to see if it can, grab that secure. That was mean. And going to go and grab another bit of experience and, kind of build up on those stacks.
Yes, right in front of Chansey, just right underneath their nose. So yeah, you're right. A little bit on that messy, mean category, but hey, it's all right. All's fair in love and unite, my friends. So here we go. Clefable right now opting to help out right here with a little bit of that top path messiness too. But hey, there's just kind of these little small, you get the 1s through, 1 through 10 approximately here in this beginning part of the matchup. That's all standard. But here you go. You wait for that 850 and Swablu and Altaria are on board.
Oh, and there they go. As we see Sugar Free starting to apply a bit more pressure, but neither team kind of really committing to a team fight at this moment. Slowpoke trying to kind of whittle down this Snorlax right here, but Snorlax is focused on that Indie and just grabbing that EXP. Scyther kind of just holding down this base right here, and really both of the central area players are kind of going back to, do their role of just, being able to kind of pivot, grab the EXP, and make their way kind of down. This is the passive start that we see in most of our Unite games here, because you don't want to play too aggressively unless you're able to kind of make that opening for yourself.
Certainly so, with Chansey securing our KO right there, and it looks like Scyther can go ahead, dip in this nice 14. It's going to look good. Chansey evolves to Blissey, so we're kind of setting up right here. This is all underway. It's all in motion. The plan is in motion. Here it is. Swablu and Altaria in the center, but we go ahead, maybe take out some of those side Indeedee and whatnot, and so here we go. Look at this. Maybe going to try to pick off Blissey, but no, it is able to slither away as that Blissey snake that it is, and then of course Doublade now the next focus right there, and it will be Blissey secure. So look at that, followed up straight up by Glaceon right here on the other side.
Oh, that was a wonderful hit right there with that icy wind. We're going to see huge points go in. 30 coming in from Glaceon, another 30 coming in from Espeon, and Snorlax not going to score right there because with the 24, it's not going to be enough to kind of get that overcap. But instead, now let's take a look. Scyther kind of going in for some picks, but trying to not lose that 2v1 battle right here. And the next Altaria, we're seeing the Solar Beam come out to try and get some secures. We are seeing that Blissey come in and give some boosts to that Slowbro, and Glaceon going to go in for this farm right here. So, in 2 seconds, we are going to see the Reggie spawn. Here they are, and, Gigachad Gaming already on that objective, kind of already in that area. We're seeing the KOs come in from the Scyther, and Reggie Rock is about under half HP. Espeon going to pop that Unite move, but it's still kind of by itself out there while you see them overextend. Snorlax going to be around this Reggie Rock, trying to push away Gigachad Gaming, but it's getting really down low right now. Oh my goodness, and there's the knockout, and there is the secure right there. Oh my goodness. There it is by Glaceon.
And it was beautiful because that was Sugar Free just kind of making the run around, right? So Espeon was kind of maybe creating that diversion on the left side, but then able to come back around through the center, the bottom center. And so we do kind of mention sometimes after taking that basement objective right there, you do often get a push after that. Well, no, this was met by Gigachads, and so they said, hey, we're going to go Giga Force right here and make sure to block that momentum, and that's what they need to win. But hey, Sugar Free kind of staying toe-to-toe, so this is the kind of match you want to see, especially in the grand finals.
For sure, and so as we see those Swablu get taken out, but Delphox going in and taking out that Clefable right there, as now we do see the Pokemon kind of rotating back up to the top path. So, we have Aegislash right here kind of trying to do a bit of damage. Not going to fight for those Swablu, instead opt to kind of grab a berry and then head back up now with the evolutions here to kind of help out right there. So Delphox is dancing around the grass. Blissey need to be a little bit careful here. The Unite moves are flying. There's the Bliss Assist coming out right there. Scyther pushing in. We've got Aegislash going in with a knockout onto the Blissey. Huge push from Gigachad Gaming right here, pushing Sugar Free back super far. There's nothing they can really do to keep these points from being stopped right here. Now going to go for that Regieleki. Meanwhile, we've got Slowbro and Snorlax having a bit of a tussle down on the bottom path.
Absolutely. So Snorlax and Slowbro are the two names that as a commentator I get mixed up the most, like just out of the names. Like it's not the Pokemon like I'm like, oh, they look similar. No, I'm just saying, like, saying those two names for me, I always trip up. And so of course you put them together right here, and that is tank on tank. And so, ladies and gentlemen, 21 from Blissey right here. Gonna look real nice from the top path, but let's see what's going on the bottom path right here, because that is gonna be setting up for that next major Reggie objective in 5, 4, 3, 2, and to the 1. Here it goes.
It's a party down here for this Registeel as both teams' Pokemon make their way down here. The fight is breaking out. Aegislash going in for that poke. We're going to see Scyther coming in as well. Pokemon are moving so quickly. We're going to see some Unite moves popping. We know Delphox still has Unite move. Mew still has Unite move. The KO streak of 3 on the Scyther as Scyther now continues to go onto this Registeel. The zoning on Gigachad Gaming side is really phenomenal, but Urzaron's going to be able to grab that. Oh my goodness, and the secure does go to the Scyther and Gigachad Gaming. Glaceon popped the Unite move, but it wasn't going to be enough, unfortunately.
The fanciful fireworks go down just before the goal, so that's looking good right here because it provides Gigachad a perfect opportunity to, take out some of the aggressors there that were going to push them back, but nah, they can just score it on in. So very well organized, very well done. Gigachad Gaming not going to lose one Pokemon in the fight. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this now creates a situation where Sugar Free on the other side now has to just kind of, they're really sweating, of course, so they have to really play this out and figure out what is it that we're going to need. Well, maybe a Regieleki would have been nice, but also, you know, how are we going to maybe secure that Ray? What are we going to do in that final stretch that's really going to affect for victory?
And look at that Scyther level 14. That's going to be rough. That is a huge level advantage. Glaceon's still level 13 right there. So definitely need to, Sugar Free is going to try and get a bit of, experience right here. But Gigachad Gaming is not going to let them have an opportunity, knocking out almost the entire team, going for a huge bottom push. Rissy able to try and stop the scores from coming in and, you know, utilize some of its moves right here. But is, you know, at the same time, Blissy's grabbing this Regieleki. There's a lot happening, Dr. K, on the screen.
Definitely so. You are not kidding, because now the top path is going to kind of become our focus with that Regieleki, but you can't take your eyes off that mini-map, really. You know, you've got to see where everyone's mobilizing to get the full scope of this game. But hey, right in front of us right here, Regieleki will go down right now. So luckily, not going to kind of create the pressure too much before the final stretch, but hey, we do only have about 30 seconds, so this is what you see the teams do, right? They're scrambling to collect all those last, you know, whether you're filling your pockets, you're getting the experience. You know, you're looking at Scyther right now at level 15. Just brutal. Just going to be a scary competitor to go up against. And hey, Snorlax feels it, because 15 seconds before that final stretch, it is taken down by Scyther.
Yeah, and here we have Gigachad Gaming lurking around the central area, try to keep Sugar Free out, completely zoned out. They are waiting at the different entrances to come into the central area, and they are just waiting. They are waiting for their moment. You know, it's going to be on Sugar Free to have to make this push. So, you know, we see some of the team kind of revealing themselves. Snorlax is hidden nice in the grass. But really, I mean, I think Gigachad Gaming is just chilling.
Absolutely. So there's that warning shot. You know, Delphox can kind of be a good Pokemon to start that off, you'll see. But Snorlax dancing around some of those surfs from Slowbro. And so right here, it's going to be Mew. We set up the barrier, maybe get that Solar Beam when it counts, but no, it's going to actually miss on that Snorlax. Attempting to bring it down would have been very nice for this team fight. But hey, Slowbro will secure against Glaceon right here. Sugar Free down 1, down 2. So ladies and gentlemen, that is going to make a huge difference with, of course, down 3 now with Clefable dropping in here. So that is going to leave the power nap for Snorlax, and it might be all over but the napping, right? Because we only got about a minute left, and it looks like Gigachad really has this set up to take and rip on that Rayquaza. So Snorlax maybe can drop the heavy slam to come on in. There it goes, and it's going to drop it, but no, will not get it, as Gigachad Gaming will go ahead and take on those shields, take on that goal-scoring opportunity right here. Maybe we're going to see some of those Hundo Duncan drop in, but at least a nice 98 from Blissey to start it off. KO streaks of 2. Gigachads, you guys are Gigachads, as there it is, the Hundo Duncan. Bring them on in.
Ooh, a powerful showing from Gigachad Gaming, taking game number 1 of the grand finals. Gigachad Gaming needed to win one more to take the championship home, but it's not yet over for Sugar Free. But that was a really powerful showcase. GG's 557 to 88. That was tough. That was a tough one. You know, they really synchronized as a team, Gigachad Gaming. And, you know, we talk about this pressure over and over again. But once, you know they have an advantage, they keep pushing. They don't let Sugar Free have a moment to breathe. Let's look at this map, Dr. K. How are you feeling about this?
Well, that's very much indicative of the match that we just saw, because you did probably recall around the 4-minute mark, 5-minute mark, I was saying, yes, Sugar Free is kind of doing what they're supposed to do against a team like Gigachad, which is you want to stop this momentum. You don't want that to spin out of control. But notice what it did. It's kind of like sneaking that snowball around the opposition, you know? So it's like we're rolling this. We don't want them to ruin our snowman that we're creating. Well, let's just kind of go around. Yes, they did. They kind of snuck it on by, because you saw that Sugar Free after that point. It was like commentator's curse, right? Because I called it around 4 or 5, and then look at that. That's where it changed right after that.
Yeah, and look at that, 11 knockouts from that, not Dodo, and 81,000 damage on that Scyther. I mean, Delphox definitely did a lot of damage too there with 78,000 as well, 81,000 from Mew. I mean, 53,000 from Slowbro, and I mean that healing, you know, with Blissey doing what it needed to do in that moment, even though it doesn't show as much. I mean, the damage is being done.
To right you. So notice, of course, on the other side, Urzaron definitely rolling with our Glaceon, as well as Umi with the Espeon, our 42, 46K respectively. But
Yeah.
ultimately, when we think about the pressure that Gigachads can apply right here, how is Sugar Free going to come back from that? Well, this was a moment where maybe that pick of the sword, it might not have been the way. I thought perhaps, let's give the sword a chance. Let's give Aegislash a chance right here. But when you're going up against that Scyther, wow, not Dodo. I mean, just showing us, I guess if you want if you're in the chat right now and you are a fan of playing Scyther, Scizor, definitely spectate this player. I mean, this is how you want to play because consistently we're seeing a team where they are led by this Scyther Scizor player, level 14, level 15 at that final stretch. And that is just, it's kind of beautimous, to be honest, because some of these team fights go down and Scyther is a force to be reckoned with.
I would not be surprised if we see a Scyther ban incoming, a Scyther Scizor ban next game. That was definitely something. I mean, gosh, what do you even do in that position to kind of adapt to that? Because I don't really think there was like a singular moment that made or broke that time. It was just a consistent, powerful showing from Gigachad Gaming.
It's true. It probably does take the whole team comp to look at. Not Dodo was saying, who let him cook? Hey, not Dodo, you're cooking up in there. We appreciate it. But hey, we're going to let you get back to your match, of course. Thank you for stopping on in. But anyway, Dage Frost was actually saying, I think Sugar needs to ban Scizor. Yeah, and take bruisers. That's the thing. Is like, who can take the punishment, from Scyther and deal it back? So we think about Pokemon, maybe like Tyranitar. Wouldn't that be interesting to see a T-Tar come out of this? Something that can just kind of
Tyranitar at all.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Yeah.
We saw it in the NA broadcast back from NA Clash number 1. Tyranitar is just sort of that. It's an interesting pick now. Things have changed, of course, since then. Even so, it may not be the move. I'm just kind of spitballing a few ideas right here, but we're trying to think about a Pokemon that can deal that damage back. We're looking at Scizor Scyther that can really punish, but who can last? Who's the fighter that can last through that, I think is more important. So you're looking for a great bit of bulk maybe with that. Was it the Buzzwole? Did we see Buzzwole Scyther matchup before? I can't remember.
It's all meshing together in my head. There's just all these Pokemon fights, all of these matches. But gosh, I mean, I'm just very excited to kind of get into this next match and see where things go. I mean, we've been blessed with so many cool comps. I'm glad we got to see the sword. It didn't work in this match, but I think it was very cool. And I think Aegislash does have a role. It's just, it was tough. It was tough against that comp, especially when Gigachad Gaming got ahead, I think. I think if Aegislash gets ahead in experience, it can do so much and just not go down. And it's just tough when it's not in your favor like that.
You and I did theorize on the idea of a Scyther Scizor ban. That's what we were talking about before this match had started. And so I do agree, now we're seeing it in our chat there. So it's just like, I do think that might be actually a way out, and Sugar Free did end up winning when they banned last time. So it's definitely worth consideration. You need to get to that, right? And so ultimately, I think, from my perspective now, I do want to see what Sugar Free is going to do. Like, it's going to make this be very, very interesting. Or, if Gigachad can kind of, let's like consider rock, paper, scissors. When you think about that game, it's like, all right, now if we're the team that's like been winning a lot, let's say you've been winning a lot in your rock, paper, scissors match, you kind of like think about what they're going to play and then counteract that. So it's countering the counter. So that's what I'm thinking right now is like, what is Gigachad? Are they going to try to counter the counter or just kind of stick with it? You stick with what's been working, stick with what you're comfortable with. It all remains to be seen.
Yeah, something else about the draft mode is that I think it forces, these teams going into tournaments to have multiple Pokemon that they feel comfortable and able to adapt when, their usual picks get banned out. So I think it's really difficult because so many of these players, they're not just one tricks, they can play very well on a multitude of Pokemon. So it's so tough when you think, okay, maybe playing up against this strategy might not be, but you know what? We're actually going to see a Delphox ban and an Urshifu ban. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, they were thinking on the other side, perhaps, that if we are going to have this Scyther, Scizor, or whatever, we don't want to get caught up in any of that AoE. We want to make sure to also not get outranged, by them or anything like that. Maybe that's the thinking. Urshifu, of course, we all kind of can expect as a pick ban. It's going to be there often for the ban. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, secure Scizor right in there, nice and early from Jakey right here. Notice that that's the move to possibly take it away from the other team, eh?
Yeah, you know what? Instead of a ban, what if you just use it? I like this. I definitely like this play right here. Yeah, so now we're gonna see. We're definitely gonna see how Sugar Free is able to utilize the Scyther when they're able to. And so now we're gonna see Clefable and the Tree Trevenant get locked in. Espeon Slowbro on the other side, and what's gonna be the adaptation? Ooh, Zora could be fun to see. I don't know. Or Dodrio. Is it time to bring back Dodrio? And Blastoise getting locked in as well. Machamp potentially going to be this final one on Sugar Free's side coming in.
Whew. I'm going to take a deep breath right here because I think we're in for a wild ride, ladies and gentlemen. I do just want to say you got to hope, of course, if you're Sugar Free right there. Yeah, I understand you're going to pick ban and then you're going to use Scizor, right? Let's just hope someone is comfortable enough to rock socks with it, right? That's going to be the key is, we did steal it from the other team. Are we comfy? Are we not comfy? Are we comfy enough to use that Scizor and use it to its fullest? So here we go, man. I mean, it's exciting, I would say. But ultimately, of course, Indigo now can have that comfy if we want to speak about comfy picks. And so Indigo right back up on that. And ladies and gentlemen, we are in for quite the ride of our lives. And Blastoise being back in this means that, we've got Blastoise, we've got Slowbro. Oftentimes you think of even on a base level, isn't it interesting that they're both defenders and both water? They both have surf. So there's like some of those like base level similarities. Well, there's also some of those playstyle similarities. Slowbro gonna, outlast maybe a fight a little bit longer than Blastoise might, but Blastoise going to come with kind of some more of that aggression in AoE that Slowbro doesn't always have. So interesting.
Yeah, we can also take note that Gigachad Gaming does have two tanks and defenders as opposed to just the Trevenant over on the other side. So that's something to keep in mind as well. I mean, Buzzwole, is I think, it's a decent amount of HP for being like an all-arounder attacker. And we've got that Clefable there to be that level of support versus, that Comfey. So interesting team comps. And here we go with this next game. 10 minutes on the clock of our grand finals. Gigachad Gaming needs one more win to take it home, but Sugar Free is not down for the count and can still take this back by winning the next few games. So we do see Not Dodo rocking that Dodo into the central area, and we do see Urzaron on Scyther this go around taking that central area as well. So you know what? This is going to be really fun to see how this Scyther plays comes about. And then let's take a look at this path right here. Buzzwole is doing Buzzwole things, being nice and aggro, definitely wants to score as soon as possible to get those stacks right in. And then otherwise we do see Squirtle and Clefairy being nice buddies, just kind of trying to get that comfy, kind of away. And we're seeing that passive start we had to see.
Only thing better than seeing Not Dodo on a Doduo would have been seeing Not Dodo on a Cramorant, right? It's a gutted blue Dodo bird, kind of. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, no Cramorants today. So that's what we get. We get the Buzzwole, we get all this other stuff, and this is still exciting. Look at that. Dodrio gonna just dash on in. Once you got that sprint gauge, look at this. They go back, and this is kind of that same motion. It's like a literal drawn motion of around in circles with Dodrio. You gain your speed, you gain your sprint meter, and then you just dash on through and then do it again. Circle back on in.
It's so satisfying to watch a Dodrio take the Swablu and just move them all across the map. As now, oh my gosh, Dodrio going to get that nice KO onto that Scyther right there, and is now going to kind of extend and push and try to take out this Clefairy, who's looking a little low on health, but managing to kind of stay up and afloat. Buzzwole here to add some extra support, but is going to take the knockout, is able to come through and do so much damage.
Beautiful. You gotta love Jelly Man as well in our chat saying Dododrio. That's what it is. It's not Dododrio, but yeah, great one. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we're talking about, is we want to see the interesting plays. This is going to be that unconventional start, at least. Let's hope it's an unconventional finish too, but ladies and gents, I am ready for it. So 48-25 right now, a little bit standard, but you're obviously seeing Gigachad. They are going to create that pressure again. If it continues on this path, that's the danger. So even if the score is not that momentous right now, Gigachad is the team that can kind of make it so. So Sugar Free probably in there digging their heels, to not get pushed back so far.
Those early KOs are definitely starting to show on that experience level. Dodrio at level 7 already, which is definitely going to be helpful to see right here, as now Dodrio is going to try and continue to add the pressure onto the Scyther and just keep on it, right? And he's going to try now to escape, but Comfey's going to be here to help out. Wonderful assist from the Comfey to help that smooth escape. Buzzwole going to get caught out of it, but manages to escape thanks to that eject button. And, you know, is just kind of spinning around, waiting for these Swablu's. Here they are. Buzzwole's going to try and keep that Dodrio away. And here goes the hits. The War Turtle going to get the KO onto the Buzzwole. Clefairy is going to try to escape, but it's going to be tough right there. Lurantis does have the range on those water moves and is going to get the knockout. There it goes. Down goes Clefable as the rotation perfectly timed to the bottom path right here, as Comfey and War Turtle make their way to kind of assist on this Scyther and Trevenant. And then there's another KO. Espeon's going to manage to get it onto the Scyther. Oh, Trevenant's not looking too good, and Trevenant goes down. That's 2 down for the count on Sugar Free side.
It threw down the wood hammer, but unfortunately the hammer brought down back on Trevenant. So ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Gigachad can make that push, of course, but notice it is hotly contested. Buzzwole comes right on in there with the help of Mew, who will secure that KO right now for Sugar Free. Mew getting pushed way back on through. That's going to be dangerous until you pick up that Citrus, looking nice. So both of these teams well in this until Mew gets finally picked off. That Dodrio's just making a few pecks right on here. You're going to see kind of, you know, something's pecking my back. What is that? And it was Dodrio the whole time. So notice Regirock, though, all the while regenerating that HP. If you don't touch it for a little while and do that damage, it is going to regenerate. So this is the mechanic that you got to work with. Look at that. Trevenant takes the damage, but unfortunately will fall. And that leaves Regirock right now to Gigachad Gaming, who will secure.
There's the big push. Points are going in, points after points after points. Really uncontested here as the rest of the team kind of focuses on getting that experience and respawning back. Level 11 on this Dodrio right now, which is absolutely insane. We're still at 5 minutes on the clock. You know, the Regilecki's still untouched, but we do see Sugar Free kind of starting to go towards it right now, having a bit of that advantage, taking some of that EXP. But Dodrio is here, and that's very scary right now with that level advantage.
Yeah, you're also seeing it, you know, wearing the crown of flowers, so that makes it even more scary.
Yeah.
It's just Dodrio right now breaking out with not Dodo playing that. Obviously going up against 3 right here. I was wondering if they were going to take that with that Comfey, but hey, not going to go ahead and bother because that would be mass devastation. But notice this, the Hydro Typhoon goes down. Still not enough really to bring down Buzzwole when it's joined by its friends. And so if you get by with a little help from your friends and then your friends leave, what happens? Well, we just saw it take place. Blastoise going to take that KO, and now Gigachad, they're going to see we are in the lead. It's not by a whole lot, though, at this stage of the match with how they've been playing.
Yeah, we can see, oh, nice KO there by the Dodrio onto the Scyther right there. There's 1 point remaining, which leaves space for a nice overcap depending on this team fight. Not Dodo trying to get some scores in, but doesn't manage to do it. But does manage, we do see those KOs coming in, 1 from Dodrio, 1 from Espeon, and there goes the base broken with a 35 overcap. Regilecki now getting surrounded by Team Gigachad Gaming as they just try and burst this thing down and secure it. Mew is around, but Dodrio pushes back that Mew, and there's the secure.
So Regieleki can go ahead and shuttle on through, unless, of course, it's met by that resistance of Sugar Free. They are going to go ahead and at least have some of the players jump pad on over to it. So, yeah, there we go. There's the 3 right here because you had 2 originally to meet the resistance, and there it is. So Dodrio gets KO'd by Mew. And so, great job, Sugar Free. You are going to need that defense, but notice, all the while, we got a spawn down here on basement. So in the center of the bottom path, it's going to be Reggie Steele. And Scyther right now is trying to make those gains. So all the while, you know, as we keep noting Dodrio's level, you are going to see Sugar Free is trying to just stay toe-to-toe as much as they can, at least, right? So that's going to be the Hydro Typhoon going down, as well as right side team Sugar Free securing on Reggie Steele.
Team fight doesn't end at that objective, though, as we do see the skirmish break out. Moves are going. We're seeing little shots after shots, damage after damage. We see Espeon did go down right there as Gigachad Gaming needed to kind of retreat. A bit of an aggressive push here from Sugar Free, as we do now see the Dodrio kind of going to the central area to grab those experience points. The fight does start to kind of break up here, not committing, instead going for that experience.
Dodrio just brutal. If you get caught alone against that Dodrio, start running? I don't know at this point. So anyway, Mew, at least, you know, when you're talking about ranged attackers and things like that, that's going to be tough when you close the distance as that Dodrio closes in on you. So we just saw it take place there. It looks like just about 50 seconds until that final stretch. That is going to matter a lot, but notice what Gigachad's doing. I mean, if you score even these 15, 30 is going to look actually really nice, though. But I was going to say, even like the 15 or below, that's still pretty good in your favor right here. So that's why Sugar Free, you know, you can see kind of an equal and opposite 18 right there. But ultimately, Sugar Free has a bit of ground to make up right now.
Oh, yeah, and Buzzwell going to try and catch out this Dodrio and come big combo. Blastoise here to kind of save the day and add some extra support. Buzzwell looking really low. I'm not sure if Buzzwell's going to be able to make the escape right here, but Scyther does come in to kind of help. We do see the KO from Mew onto that Dodrio, and those heals are going to definitely help as Buzzwell returns back to base.
So that is really what Sugar Free would have wanted in that moment, right? You don't want to go into this final stretch losing somebody. You know, ultimately, they are going to resurrect just about in time. I mean, there'll be a little bit of a moment, and actually, this is a great time to converge in on it. So they will go ahead and hit Ray Ray because, you know, they don't have Dodrio on the side of Gigachad yet. So yes, they will rip and rock on Ray Ray. It is going down to about 90% of the HP right here, and boom, they are going to hit it. Sugar Free is going to go ahead and take this one. So the right side team, they get those shields. The goal scoring speed is increased. So ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see the full pockets, but Blastoise is going to be rapid spinning on right in here. Try to stop Mew. Try to stop somebody because this is where the assault comes through. Dodrio ready to defend though. So this is where the match, the intensity heats up in the tall grass. Able to evade with that. So look at that. 44 turns to 88. This is now a completely different match here in this final stretch. But notice the resistance. The Hundo Duncan. Dunked in from Mew. Sugar Free. They are going to pull off some doozies, I would say.
This game is far from over. Sugar Free in the lead, but there's still a minute left on the clock, and I think this is anybody's game still. We're seeing the aggressive push come back out. Gigachad Gaming now being made aware that they are behind, and now go in for this push. Lots of damage coming out. Dodrio going to be able to take out the Trevenant. That's going to be huge. Push coming in. That's another 100, and now it looks like Gigachad Gaming barely in the lead. That's going to be another point. 10 going in. We do see Scyther on the other side trying to score a bunch of points. This is a huge push. The scores are so close. They're continuing to push into the center base right here and score whatever they can. Going to go for these fights here and go for that experience. Blastoise has full pockets right here. Going to try and score. We're going to see the Comfy Unite get popped right here. And there's another 50. Gigachad Gaming, despite losing their Rayquaza, is able to take this back and go for the scores.
You saw the Hundo Duncan. It was from Slowbro. It was from Blastoise, my friends. You did see Sugar Free tried to make the attempts against it, but there it is, Blastoise with that Hundo Duncan. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just an absolute slobber knocker of a fight right here on that bottom, that last goal, we should say. And so now Buzzwell just kind of stands there and says, okay, we're going to get slow beamed, of course. You know, part of it was the slow beam. I'm just saying this was brutal. So Gigachad, my friends, are your victors in here. Urzaron coming into the chat early to say GGWP right here for a final score of 732 to 415.
GG's, what a finish. Congratulations to Gigachad Gaming, our champions for EU Clash number 2. I mean, both teams played that incredibly well. I mean, you got that secure, and I mean, that's what makes Rayquaza such an interesting mechanic, is you got the shields, but it's not over the moment that capture is taken, because what we saw is we saw back and forth. Let's look at this match just right here. It was neck and neck, you know, Sugar Free able to kind of grab that, but it just, in the end, it wasn't enough because Gigachad Gaming was able to come in. There was enough time on the clock to get that counter push, and they had the level advantage to kind of go at it.
Too right. Yes, there it is. So you can see it all right here in front of us for the kind of illustration of the match. But beyond that, there will be some battle data to look at, and yes, you gotta hand it to both of those teams. Just what a, you know, slugfest of a final stretch. That's what you want to see, though. You want to see that both of these teams are in the fight. You know, it's not just a one-sided victory wholeheartedly or whole-handedly, I guess. So yeah, brutal. Wonderful job, both teams. Like I said. There we go. We'll go ahead and engage and see that really lots of scores, lots of, you know, those pockets were full on both sides. 113 damage from that Blastoise is looking pretty solid. 113K, that is, of course, for anybody that's not, you know, mistaken. But obviously joined by your Espeon at 88K, 71K there. Dodrio looking solid.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, take a look at the other side, 76,000 from Buzzwell. Urzawan with those 42,000, a Chroma with 46,000, and 76,000 from you. Lots of damage across the board. We're seeing that recovery from Clefable as well. And Comfey almost at 100,000 healing. Wild. Absolutely wild.
What a wonderful way to close out this Victory Road Unite, the EU Clash number 2. Yes, you saw all that data, all that just beauty. It was an absolute pleasure to watch, but also just to see that final stretch alone was its own kind of mini pleasure as well. So, yeah, we are all still sweating. And again, you've got to hand it to both of these teams. Obviously, Gigachad, you get the congrats. You are the EU Clash champions. Let's take a look at that bracket, Steph. Call it like you see it. But yeah, congrats to both teams.
Oh my goodness. Definitely congratulations to Gigachad Gaming. We've got Not Dodo, Nils, Indigo, Toby, and Laurentish coming in. But I mean, look at this bracket. Look at the fight. I mean, the way Sugar Free came out from that losers finals to come back into the grand final was amazing. I mean, there were so many wonderful teams here. We got to watch Asari in the losers bracket, and we got to watch, Havoc Esports, and to everyone, even the matches we didn't get a chance to play. Wonderful job to everybody who was here with us. Thank you all so much for joining us. And don't forget, next week will be the NA Clash, and definitely make sure you're following Victory Road at Unite VR on Twitter and right here on Twitch, Victory Road _Unite. So you don't miss the next time there's a tournament. It's a great time to get together and, see some really spicy matches, especially you never know which Pokemon might make it in. Maybe next time we'll see some Gudra or something.